Filmmaker Ava DuVernay's new movie will not only move you, but make you question humanity and how we treat our fellow human beings. Origin, based on a best-selling book, will contribute to the ongoing global conversation about race and power.
Ava, I want to start by saying thank you for telling the story and having the conviction to make a movie like this.
20,000 books were lost that night. Books filled with imagination and ideas and history.
The book itself is inspiring and important, but I love the route that you took to tell the story through the author's journey. Can you tell me about that decision?
Well, you know, the book cast by Isabel Wilkerson looks at the interlocking histories of the Dalit people in India, African Americans here in the United States, and Jewish people in Germany during the Holocaust. And really, the synopsis of it and the underlying thesis is that they are all connected through this social phenomenon known as caste, which is a human hierarchy.
You okay?
If you look closely, you'll find something tragic was happening.
And so I just thought that was very provocative, but it also is, it's informational, and I wanted to make that emotional. So in order to do that, I elected to have the author of the book cast be the main character in this movie. So basically, Isabel Wilkerson, played by Aunjanue Ellis-Taylor, guides us through all of those facts, all of those connections, and that theory, so that while we are taking in information and ideas, we're also experiencing emotion and empathy.
American slavery is rooted in subjugation, dominating blacks for the purposes of capitalism, using bodies and labor for profit. But for the Jews during the Holocaust, the end goal was not subjugation. It was extermination. Kill them all.
And Aunjanue, what was it like portraying Isabel on screen? I'm sure the book had quite an impact on you as well, right? So what do you have to say about her language and her story?
I think she's one of a mind that we should protect and take care of. That she, you know, what she has brought to our really lazy discussion that we have about how we separate ourselves into these absurd divisions around the world.
There were so many millions of African Americans who were murdered from the Middle Passage until the end of legal segregation, that it goes beyond the realm of an official number.
You know, that's a huge, that's a huge undertaking to portray that. And we talk a lot about performing scholarship and how in these discussions we don't want to perform like we're scholars, because I'm certainly not. I think you would say right. You're not. You're a director. I'm an actor and other things. But so that was character work. It was character work, trying to portray that and be believable in that way. So it meant that I had to read and reread and reread. And a lot of what you see on screen is me, myself, the actor, trying to understand. I would take the book home. I would bring the book to work with me. And so these ideas that she's grappling with a better mind than mine, I'm grappling with, and Ava's just kind of filming it, really.
Are you interested in writing something for us?
I don't do assignments anymore.
Yeah, well, you're a better writer than most people do anything. Have you heard the tapes?
No. Of what?
And finally, ladies, this movie really makes us reflect on how we see and react to each other. What conversations do you hope that the film ignites, especially in today's times? Ava?
Well, I'm most interested if there's anything else that we talk about. I think there is especially as we talk about American audience, there is a basis of at least preliminary knowledge of African American history, certainly not enough, and of Jewish history, American history, certainly not enough. But there's very little information about Indian history and the ways in which that history and those legacies are intertwined with all of our histories.
Dalits were called the untouchables of India, enforced into the degrading work of manual scavenging, the practice of cleaning excrement from toilets and open drains by hand in exchange for leftover food.
And so what I'm most passionate about, and hope that people who might be watching this I invite them in to watch this film where we talk about the Dalit people. We talk about and share information about Dr. Ambedkar. We are illuminating parts of global world history and the history of people who believe in justice and dignity around the world and trying to align those.
And build a thesis that shows how all of this is linked.
I gotta be honest with you, I don't understand. I don't see it.
You go and write your stories. Folks need to know about this.
You're trying to make sense of racism, but your thesis is flawed.
You know, the fact that I am someone who makes films about and studies issues of justice and dignity around the world and yet had never been taught about Dr. Ambedkar shows me that there's something missing, that there's a disconnect between the ways that we're unified around these ideas. And so that's really our invitation, is to watch the work and join hands with us as we try to understand each other, particularly as we look at the Indian storylines in the piece.
You don't escape trauma by ignoring it. You escape trauma by confronting it.
I don't write questions. I write answers.